Hello, YouTube. My name is Neil George. I live in a town called London. Not London, England, but London, Ontario. It's in Canada, about 2 hour drive away from Toronto. I'd like to share with you a very peculiar experience I had recently. About a month back, I purchased this hat online. You probably can't see from that distance, so I'll bring it up close. Now, this might be in reverse, I'm not sure, but if it is, it says, "Make America Great Again." It's a Maga Hat. So, naturally, since a lot of people don't like Donald Trump, and I understand, I get it. Personally, I think that he's on the level, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So, a couple people come up to me and they say, "Why are you talking stuff like make America great again? You're in Canada. What does America have to do with any of this?" Fair question. Well, let me just say this. I think at this point in time, it's becoming pretty obvious that the Canadian and the American economies are pretty closely related. You might remember that back in 2008, there was a massive recession that hit the United States. A lot of their major banks closed and a lot of people were out of work. But it was much bigger than that. It wasn't just the United States that was affected by this Great Recession. It hit us hard up here in Canada too. Now, I'm sure there's probably plenty of other examples similar to that one that you can use. But the point simply being, when the United States is doing well, that usually has a good impact on us. US is our number one trading partner. We depend and rely on them very heavily. And there are things they rely and depend on us for as well. So, needless to say, the United States is doing well. That helps us do well. When they do poor, it makes it harder for us to perform well. It has a negative impact on us. So naturally, I'm pretty interested in who's going to win the upcoming election in America. Even though I, as a Canadian citizen, cannot vote, it's in our best interest as a nation that they put someone in charge that knows what the hell they're doing. Me personally, I'm not convinced that that person is Joe Biden. I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay? The economy was performing extremely well under President Trump before this pandemic hit us. So the question is now, it's not so much who's going to keep the economy going, but who's going to rebuild the economy. Now, I've pretty much lost about all faith in the Democrats' ability to have any remote sound understanding of basic economics. But there's something much more serious than that brewing. There's the irrefutable evidence that Joe Biden is quickly becoming a decrepit, old, demented man who cannot even form a single lucid thought. How's this man going to lead the country, let alone rebuild an economy that is all but ready to collapse upon itself to the extent that many of us, have never seen before? Maybe never will again, who knows? Alright, so in a nutshell, that's basically why I support Donald Trump. I mean, I could get into specifics, but I'm not really here to discuss why I like Donald Trump. This is more to do with a person's right to express loyalty to a political ideology or party that they see fit. Okay, I bored you all long enough. Here comes the real thing, okay? So, this is being filmed early Sunday. So, this would technically been yesterday, Saturday afternoon. I was out doing my grocery shopping, wearing my Maga hat because I wear it pretty much everywhere I go out. I'm not ashamed of who I support, okay? And I'm not going to keep quiet about it either. That's a right that everyone has in this country. That's one of the things that makes our country so amazing, like it is. Alright? So, I'm at the Freshco, local grocery store, walking around, and I was looking for a particular item I needed. It was my second trip there that day. First time around, I got home and realized I forgot to buy something, so I went back, and I was searching and searching, and I wasn't finding this one item I needed, right? And this young woman who works there, she approached me. I couldn't tell how old she was because everyone's wearing a mask. looked like she might have been senior high school age, maybe a little bit older. I don't know. But, this young woman, presumably some, educated liberal type, comes up to me and she demanded that I take off my hat because, quote, some people might find it offensive. And without even waiting for me to respond, she turned around and started walking away. Now, I'm trying to learn how to share my opinions more effectively, and I saw this as an opportunity. So, as she was walking away, I simply stated my case and I said, look, I don't care who this offends. This is the person that I support. If someone doesn't like it, that's too bad. And then she turned around and came at me, again, demanding I take off the hat. And I just said, look, you can't throw me out of this store for supporting Donald Trump. And she turns around, says, I'm not threatening to throw you out of the store, but people who are working up at the cash registers are immigrants, and they're going to get offended. So again, she turns around and starts storming off before I can even respond. Well, I wasn't going to let her get away that easily, because I have a right to voice my opinion too. If someone's going to confront me and try to, tear down what I support, then I have the right to support what I support. Needless to say. So as she's walking away, I said, no, Donald Trump is not anti-immigration. She turns around over her shoulder. She says, yes, he is. Keeps storming off. And so I start raising my voice because she's walking away, and I want to make sure this person can hear me make my case. And I just said, no, Donald Trump is anti-illegal immigration. If you come to this country legally, then you're fine. And she just keeps shouting. She's doing the whole childish finger in the ears, la la la, I can't hear you, doing the whole don't wear it, don't wear it, don't wear it, can't hear you, just don't wear it, and storms off. There are a couple of other Freshco employees that were there that kind of saw the end of the scuffle. Naturally, they probably assumed I was the aggressor because nobody likes a mega boy. So anyways, I could tell they were unsettled by what they had just seen, and then, one of them kind of gave me a little bit of attitude. I didn't make nothing of it, but I was looking around some more, and one of the gentlemen that witnessed this altercation, he looked at me and he said, "You gonna buy something?" And I just said, "Well, yeah. I mean, there's this one item I'm looking for. I can't seem to be able to find it. I'm checking out the aisles." And he said, "Oh, it's in aisle 2." And I said, okay, great, thank you. And I went off and I got it, So, I wasn't going to make a big thing out of that. It was a little bit of attitude, but it wasn't like totally in your face like this other young lady was doing, right? So I got up there and, I got up to the cash registers, I got in line, I saw the line I was in, it was the young lady that was chewing me out. So I was like, this is kind of awkward, right? So I got in another line, and then one of the ladies said, "Oh, hey, I'm opening up my cash register over here. I can help you here." Now, I don't want to sound like a presumptuous individual, but I'm just going to say it. This woman opening up the new cash register, she had dark skin. So there's probably a decent chance that she was one of the, quote unquote immigrants that she was talking about. This woman was nice to me. She didn't seem distressed or troubled at all that I was wearing my hat. She was very friendly, very accommodating. You know what I think it is? I think it's one of these cases of these white liberal elites doing their whole I'm offended on their behalf even if they're not kind of gigs, But, as annoying as that is, there's of course the outrage at the fact that, just because you work at a store, like a Freshco employee does not have the right to come up and say, take off your hat because I don't like the president that you support. Hell no. I don't think so. Okay? Simple as that. Now, here's the thing that's been on my mind recently. At this point, I kind of find myself wondering whether or not I'm going to be basically tossed out the next time I go there. I mean, it's obvious that everyone that works there is going to recognize me. I mean, my hat is unmistakable, and it's hot summer out, so I'm always, Anyways, so they're going to recognize me. I don't know what the response is going to be, but I'm just going to tell you, I would not be shocked or surprised in the least if their security guard doesn't let me in. You know, they have these security guards now to make sure you're wearing a mask because they're required now here in Canada, and also to make sure not too many people are in the store at once, you know. So I would not be in the slightest bit surprised or shocked if the security guard stops me at the door and say, "Oh, hey, you were here last week. Yeah, we don't want you in here anymore." I would not be surprised. And, you know, obviously I'm going to ask about how come, why, this and that. And my guess is they're probably going to make up some story about how I was disturbing the peace or something. Because, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'll admit it. When that young lady was walking away, I was raising my voice, okay? Maybe it sounded, you know, a touch bit hostile or aggressive, especially to the other two employees that came and saw the very end of the scuffle. And, you know, maybe that's just something I could have done better, but like I wasn't trying to be hostile or aggressive. It's just this woman gets all up in my face, gives me all of this trash for who I support, and then is storming off. And I'm thinking, hold on, I have a right to defend my views. So she's not going to get away that easy. And if I have to raise my voice a bit so I get my point across to her as she's walking away like a coward, then damn it, I'm going to raise my voice a little bit. It's not that I'm trying to shout over someone or, you know, intimidate them. I'm just trying to express my opinion the best way that I know how. But I could see why someone, especially like those two employees that came at the end of the scuffle, I could see why they might see that and think, oh, this person must have started something. Oh, he must be instigating. He's being loud, hostile, aggressive. It's making everyone uncomfortable. It's all a bunch of crap, of course. It's completely untrue in every sense of, you know, of the definition of the word untrue. But I would not be surprised if someone took it that way. So I only go there once a week. All right, so that means I'm not going to be going back there till next Saturday. But I will not be surprised in the slightest if I am not allowed in the store, or if someone comes up to me, manager comes up to me and says, no, you have to leave because you were disturbing the peace and blah, 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 blah. All right? So I'm just telling you right now, that is a lie. Disturbing the peace has got nothing to do with it. She came up to me and started getting all up in my grill, okay? She's the instigator here. All right? Not me. Completely unprofessional behavior, by the way, from an employee, someone that's supposed to represent this company. Entirely unprofessional, unacceptable. All right? No, this is not about disturbing the peace or making someone feel uncomfortable. This is political. They don't like the President of the United States, and that is the reason why, you know, if they decide to not let me in when I go there next week, that's going to be why. It's going to have nothing to do with any phony baloney accusations that I was disruptive or disturbing the peace or threatening someone. Threatening, that's a good word they like to use. I wouldn't be surprised if they say that I was threatening her somehow, which is a load of garbage. But this is what it's really going to be about, people. Okay? They'll hide behind their excuses, as, you know, liberals do. They love to hide behind anything they can hide behind because they're a bunch of bald-faced lying cowards. All right, but I'm just telling you what happened today, what I expect might happen next week. And when I go to the store next Saturday, I'm going to be recording my phone, the camera on my phone as I walk in. All right, and if the security guard stops me and says, whoa, whoa, you're not allowed to come in, I'm going to film the entire thing. I'm going to ask them why. Don't worry, I'm not going to start a fight or anything. I'm not going to be throwing punches, but, you know, I'm going to be asking what's up. And I'm going to be recording every single thing. I'm going to ask to speak to the manager if I have to, okay? And I will get a response from the higher up ranks if I have to explain this garbage, all right? But everything's going to be recorded, and I'll tell you what. If something does happen next week, you know, I'm going to have it recorded on my phone, and I'm going to release that video as well when it comes up. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I'm sure you all might be interested to see how that turns out. If it turns out nothing happens, then, you know, I'm sorry I got you guys all worked up for nothing. But this is what we have to be thinking about, concerned about, you know. We're being attacked. Us conservatives are being attacked. You know, some employee comes up to you in the store and says you have to take off a Maga hat because they don't like conservatism, they don't like Donald Trump. This is what we're up against these days. And they're going to find some excuse to legitimize it somehow. Or at least that's what I'm expecting might happen. And you know what? If it doesn't, then fine. I apologize to Freshco. I apologize to them if nothing happens. Alright? But if something does happen, I want you guys to know I called it right from the start. I predicted before it even happened, I predicted what they were going to do. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. So thanks for tuning in. You know, let's see what happens next week. Wish me luck, fellas.